using. We're talking about the images that we're giving, what the images convey in a visual format, especially if we're doing something with photos that move information. Cartoons, which are very, very pleasant and can often be very respectable, or television. So there I am with a 102-year-old farmer who, by the way, still farms. I'm sure he's still worried about the moisture there. He only farms half-time. He said he works about 40 hours a week on his farm. So he's 102. That's one image. I'm going to give you an example of another image. That's another way to do an image. So I'm in there in a funny TV. It's just a different way that I may clock it in terms of what I'm going to do with that. There's another image. It happens to be the same TV, but it's in the middle of a war-torn area. There's another image, which is funny. People laugh and they think about that. And then I'll give you the final image that will affect one half of the audience. What are you looking at here? So you've got to look at what the image is and what you're trying to convey with the image. See? But what you're conveying is very important. I wouldn't show this to an 85-year-old woman, but I might show this to an 85-year-old man and give them the information. They might laugh, and when they laugh, they open up, and then they're more likely to take the information. It actually has purpose. But it's the same with sounds. Modulating your sounds, moving your sounds, using music, not using music, enhancing or distracting, because when we talk about health literacy, we're also talking about sounds. It's not just the written word, it's not just the sight of pictures or television, it's also the sounds that you're using. Number 7, say it again, say it again, say it again. Just like the rules of three. Say it again, say it again. So if I wanted to talk, we'll say about the study that I talked about just a minute ago about the skim milk study. I'd start out and I'd say there are issues with skim milk. Skim milk is bad for your baby. After a year of age, I don't recommend you use skim milk. So I have skin in the game, I said it. I don't recommend skim milk. But the American Heart Association agrees. I'll tell you why I think they're wrong. I immediately now have your attention. I'm standing here, I'm talking about authority, and I'm going to tell you what's wrong. And then I may give my discussion of the study. The study showed this and that. And then in the middle I might say again, whole milk for toddlers from the age of 1 to 4, I think is healthier because it satisfies their health. So I've said the words are what I want to put in at least twice there. But at the end of the minute and a quarter, I want to end with the same thing. And then I want to make it sexy at the end. So I might say, there are a lot of doctors who are going to disagree with what I say. Bring on those letters. So all of a sudden, there's something called PCAN that I'm going to go into. I've then communicated something 3 times in a minute and a quarter. I've made it sexy in some way and interesting because I've taken a position. I may use the word controversy, provocative, to tone it down a little bit because you often want to modulate it. You don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but you want to sound like you're taking a stand. Taking a stand is okay as long as you modulate it in some way. But you've got to say it again, and say it again because you're more likely to get it home. And remember, you're never going to want to go around 3. McLuhan was right back in the 1960s when he said the medium is the message. And that's right. And remember, websites were not around at that time. At this time, there were 4 channels, and you would sit there and you'd watch a show, and you might watch a show for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, before you changed it because you had limited things to change it to. And television was, of course, entertaining. And I put that through there just on ideas of what I think. I think that we're very, very quick to change to new information. Make it sexy. Or, as W.C. Fields once said, never share the stage with a dog or a child. Right? Never share it with a dog or a child. Why? Because your eye immediately goes to the dog to see if he's going to pee on the stage or bite you. And a child because we naturally go towards children. So when I say make it sexy, I don't mean sexy in a sexy way. I mean things like that to move the information. I mean, it's wonderful. Whenever you can move it in an emotive way that attaches you, it's going to be good. This is an example of digital porn. That is Bill Gates as a child. When he got arrested, I can't remember what that was for. And there he is in as sexy a pose as he could do in 1987. Too bad I didn't put all my money in Microsoft. I certainly didn't have it. Keep it simple. That Einstein quote.